All right, I'm working on the Sprint boat, putting new stringers in it. And I thought I'd give you all an update. It's hot here in Florida, I'm sweating. Got the air conditioning on and the fan blowing in from the house into my room that I'm working on it on. And there's Kovu. Kovu. Hi, Kovu. To Kovu. Good boy. I'll flip the camera around and show you the Sprint update. Here she is. Now, mind you, this is my first fiberglass work ever. I am not an expert. I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm learning as I go. So, I don't know if you've seen the prior videos where I cut out the stringers. You can see where I cut the stringers here and I dug out the wood. Most of it was rotten already, and then I replaced it with, what's it called, Divicel. So I'm using Divicel here. I tacked it in above the prior stringers with 5200 marine adhesive. And then what I did is I put on a thin layer of this fiberglass just to keep that Divicel in place and to kind of, you know, make some radiuses here for what is that, 1708, that I think it's called 1708, the thicker, what do they call that? It's fiberglass. It's fancy fiberglass because it's multi-directional kind of thing. There's a term for it. But Rojo got me it, right, Cove? Cove. And got me a bunch of it. And that's the next step, is to put the, well, actually the very next step is to do the inside stringers, these two. But this is the first step. Get used to working with fiberglass. Checking out how sturdy this would be, because when I tacked the Divicel up here with the marine sealant, just to hold it in place, you know, obviously it was real flimsy, and now it's rock hard really, so it's kind of cool. What I'm gonna do is, I've got these boards going from the ends, and I can see what kind of gaps I have. And then I can take belt sander and even up the Divicel. So then this stuff is just foam board. It's real easy to cut. It's this stuff. It's real easy to cut. It's real, you know, easy to work with. But it is hard. You can't squish it like, you know, normal insulation board. So right now I am just checking levels. So I got 2x4s running from the ends all the way across, and I'm seeing how much gap there is. You know, I'm going to be going over the top of this with that 1708, 1 or 2 layers. We'll see how it all works out, because I'm playing it by ear. 2 layers, there will be 2 layers holding up, 2 layers of that 1708 holding up these stringers. Whether both layers go all the way over the top is kind of in question. But it looks like I got room for 2 layers, easy enough. So the other goofy thing about this project is I'm going to drop the floor. So right here, that's the approximate size of the space that I'm dropping in the middle of the floor. And essentially, this board is at the floor level. And then how much, I like the idea, I just hit the Divicel with my foot. See, it's sturdy as heck. So in the middle of the boat right here, because the seats are going to be here, I'm going to have a drop floor here, so it's easier to get up off your seat. And you're sitting more down lower in the boat, or actually I should say standing lower in the boat when you want to. Otherwise you could sit on the platforms. This goes up over here to bass. It's a bass boat, right? So a bass boat's usually the whole deck is real tall, and you stand tall on the boat. Well, I have a bay liner that actually is low, like this level, and I like to be able to, especially in rough water, it's nicer to get lower center of gravity of standing, where you're standing or sitting for that matter. You know, it'll help you get up from your seat by having that little bit lower floor, and it'll help you, you know, in rough water. Sometimes I've actually fished standing in the middle of the boat in rough water, you know, with my long rods hanging off the side, and, you know, was comfortable doing so. So I kind of like having that little bit lower section. But this lower section, what I'm going to have is I'm going to make it so that you can take it out. And you'll be able to, you know, there'll be a hole here. You could lift it up and you can raise it to the rest of the deck if you want to. Or you can lower it. So what I'm doing with that is I'm not going to use the divvy cell because this stuff's really not structural. That's what Coosa's for. And there's the Coosa board. I'm going to use that to frame that in and strengthen the sides. I will add a whole bunch here on the sides so that we don't lose any structural integrity. And yeah, this is it's a Sprint. The fiberglass as it is really thick. There's no deformations going on here. And nothing that I can tell, at least, while it's sitting without its top on. So I'm sure, I guarantee you, this is going to be a brick poop house when I'm done with it. It ain't going nowhere. So when I lay out this fiberglass too, I just lay it over here and soak it, kind of thing. You can see the epoxy. Just, you know, why do it on something separate? Let the epoxy soak into the... I didn't even clean off the surface all that well, and it acts as a substrate for the epoxy to, you know, sink into and strengthen the boat. So that's what I'm doing. The center stringers are next, but right now I want to see about the heights of the stringers that are there, these guys, and I want to belt sand it down so that it's even, because there are some spots that are where they meet that it's not perfect. Well, the whole thing's not perfect because hell, I did it. Right? Wish me luck, guys. That's the update. You'll see more as I proceed.